been such a lifetime of believing that however you are is wrong. That it makes it difficult for there to be a belief otherwise. That how you are could possibly be okay. Or just the natural way that the body is. For me, I was always conditioned to believe that how I was, which was quiet and shy, was wrong. And not just by students, but by teachers and adults, there seemed to be a general consensus that that was wrong. Which doesn't make sense now, but you know, back then when that's what everyone is telling you, that's what you believe. I think it's impossible to, unless you have someone who is supporting you and says differently, to believe otherwise. And so much gets repressed in this way. You genuinely believe something is wrong with you, and that can be super damaging and manifest in so many different ways throughout your life. It definitely did for me. The belief that there was something wrong with me stayed throughout my 20s, and I think early 30s it started to change a bit. Early 30s, like 31. But yeah, I mean, I felt that I had to drink a lot in order to have fun, because how I wasn't okay. There was definitely a lot of fear about being quiet and being just as I was. And it was really damaging. There was so much that wasn't allowed to be. How I looked, how I acted. And we're just conditioned to believe so much that we have to be like other people. Other people know the way, that we have to follow some sort of authority. Mimic how they are. I think that because of the childhood that I had and youth, and also the parents that I had, it made me naturally be anti-authoritarian. Because there was while a child I had to comply, then as I grew to be in my late teens, there was a rejection because there was so much aggression and control that was being pushed onto me still. And so there was total rejection of that, and I never felt I had a relationship with my mom, and she was the main parental figure in my life. So yeah, my dad I just considered a friend. I didn't really see him as an authority, because he was always the opposite of my mom, which was very supportive and nice, and just had a lot in common with me. And so since I didn't have any sort of like, I don't know, I didn't really look up to the main parental figures, the main authoritative figures that would be in someone's life. Yeah, I became anti-authority, and so the way that most people acted or what they strove for didn't resonate with me. I didn't want to follow the norms of society. Yeah, I really just felt kind of a disgust at like how fake people were and superficial, how you had to follow certain things and I don't know, appear a certain way. And so yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't want to partake in that. And so the path that I ended up being on was I wanted to decondition myself from everything. Yeah, I found the work of Wilhelm Reich, and at the time I was just really impressed and thought it was amazing that someone had been working to through exercises allow people a sort of practice to remove the shield, the armor of the body, the layers of conditioning. Yeah, basically how you're repressed as a person. I did that practice. I remember I was really into it. I would do it like a few times a week. But it became clear that it was an escape mechanism. I think like after a year in of doing it, I noticed that I would experience like a sort of high afterwards, which I began to like seek after. But then that kind of started to diminish, and it was clear that it wasn't really doing anything. And so I just stopped doing it. I remember there were many people who were also part of a group who would meet up sometimes, or online would meet up. And some of them had been doing it for so many years, like, I don't know, like 8, 10, 15 years, or they had done it for a few or a couple of years and stopped. And I don't know, not done it at all, then come back to it as if like it had been bad of them to stop doing it, and that they had strayed off course or something, and then come back and do it, then again stop. And I have no idea, like it's so funny to think about now, because people are just fooling themselves in a way, like it's not really getting you anywhere, so you're kind of trapped in thinking that's going to be the thing that's going to solve my situation, it's going to make the suffering end. But I don't know, I just saw through that, and I was just like, I'm not going to continue this, and continued on my way. But yeah, that was a really, I don't know, I guess it was it felt important. It felt really important at the time. And now it's interesting to see when I talk to people and I share what happened, they immediately want to categorize it as like maybe like in spiritual terms. Or if they're atheists, then it's like, I don't know, psychological. And people want to know what the formula is and what I did in order to get here. And even though I explained that I don't consider myself to be a spiritual person, and that I don't have any spiritual practice, and that I wasn't able to do any spiritual practices during the past like 2.5 years when I was going through hell and dying. They still want to know. Like, they still, I don't know, there's like, I think it's like an impossibility to really believe that everything just happens on its own, and that there is no formula that's going to get you to already this. And it's really difficult to convey to people if you're not going through this, or it hasn't happened to you. It's like you can't even see that you are basically living blindfolded. You're just like, you don't even know how like controlled you are, how repressed humanity is. It's crazy. There's no one that can really guide you through this. People can hold space for you. Maybe they have words that can help, for sure. That's been my experience. But like where the body is at now, or what the body goes through, we don't really know how things will play out. And you see more and more that whatever is arising is, it's less and less known, but that's more and more allowed. And so it's really like the body just is learning how to be in completely new territory. And so that will look like however it looks like. And that is different for everyone. And it makes sense, like whatever comes up, like it could be difficulty or unpleasant sensations, not wanting to be awake, just wanting to sleep, you know, old beliefs, you know, feelings that you thought, or emotions that you thought were, I don't know, or no longer playing a role in your life, beliefs that you thought were no longer playing a role in your life. All of that can come up. You know, might feel pressure to react in the normal ways, but it doesn't feel, it feels fake. Like, I don't know, making small talk, saying hi and smiling. But it's all a natural unfolding, and it is seen that there is no roadmap. No one can tell you what's going to happen or what there is to do. For example, like healing, there's always, people have like certain formulas that they think will heal you, but it's seen to be so false. Like now, when if that is brought up, it's just like there's no inclination to try any of that. Like, for example, I don't know, tapping, manifestation, or affirmations, that kind of thing. There's like zero inclination to even try that, and it just feels strange and foreign. But people actually believe that. They think that that is the way to heal, and so you must do that. But now it's just seen that no, the body knows the way. It's gonna do it however it does, and you things will come up, they'll be felt, and it's more will fall away. Like, however it is, there's no agenda, there's no need to make it a certain way. Like, it's so different than how people are taught to be. And yeah, I just want to say there's nothing wrong with you. Especially if you're going through this. It takes so much. I feel like you have to have like a lot of strength, for sure, a lot of courage, and yeah, not taking bullshit in any way. And that's not easy. It's so easy to follow other people. It's not easy to truly be different. Because you can be a little bit different. That can be safe, because that's also safe. But being really different, like really following whatever the hell is there, whatever is arising, just being with that, like however this unfolds, without like any guidance or someone who is telling you what to do and how to be. You don't really see that. It's too scary for people, or it's rejected because it's not felt as safe. It's not how you're conditioned to want to be safe, to want to be at peace, to want to be at a good place, and that is so imprisoning. But you don't see that. You think like that's good. You think that means happiness, but that is what this is, for lack of better words, it's unknown, unconditional freedom. Yeah, nothing can touch it.